In the late 2000s to the early 2010s, there were two things that were very popular: shooters and Transformers. And I mean, how could it not be? You just had the success of Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and on Transformers you had well, I guess you had the Michael Bay movies, but you know, people still like them somewhat. But you know what? People thought, why not combine them? So that is how we got Transformers War for Cybertron, the first in a trilogy of games we would come to know as the Cybertron trilogy. And this is the first of a trilogy of videos I'll be doing, going over things such as gameplay, story, and just in general things about the game, like how fun they are. But I will sadly not be doing online for 2 of the 3 games, and sadly be doing online for 1 of the games, but it is what it is. And yeah, I guess before we get into this, remember to like, subscribe to the notification bell, and let's go. War for Cybertron, as the name implies, takes place in the middle of the War for Cybertron. You play through 2 different campaigns, Autobot and Decepticon campaign. The Decepticon campaign is more of a lead up to the Autobot campaign. All levels let you pick between 3 different characters to play as. And in the Decepticon campaign, you do pivotal things like defeating Zeta Prime and defeating Omega Supreme, Trypticon, all that stuff, which leads in to the Autobot campaign, where you start out as Optimus, and Bumblebee and I think Ironhide is there, I believe. And you kind of go through what happened to the Decepticon campaign after. So you have to save Zeta Prime, you gotta defeat Trypticon at the end, you gotta go through it. And it's a very interesting campaign because of how it's broken up. It's broken up into 8 bigger levels in the campaigns, with smaller subsection levels in between. So they're kind of like checkpoint kinds. I kind of use those as like ending points for my videos, which was very useful. But yeah, so that's basically the rundown to give the campaign. I don't have much else to say, so let's get into the next part. War for Cybertron is a TPS, or a third-person shooter, which is an over-the-shoulder shooting game, such as Gears of War or Helldivers 2. Now, War for Cybertron is different than the other 2 games in the Cybertron trilogy, as in the other 2 games, there's lots of cover fire sections, where you gotta get into cover fire, or else you'll be mowed down. Even though there's one game in particular that is much worse with that than the other, this is a very kind of classic run and gun game. To put it into perspective, you have to run around and gun down, and try not to get hit, or as low as you can. There are cover areas, however, it is not the main thing in the game. Now, in the game story, you can play as 3 selectable characters per level in the game. Now, there are 4 different classes of characters in the game. First, there are scouts, which are faster characters that usually transform into cars, and are most likely cloakers like Cliffjumper. Scientists, which are flyers like Starscream, who usually buff allies or heal them. Leaders like Optimus, who are more focused on defending the other teammates. They kind of take all damage, have the health. And then finally there's soldiers, like Megatron, who are offensive characters focused on doing damage more than taking hits or healing. Now, since it's a Transformer game, you can obviously transform. All characters have vehicle modes and a robot mode. And a robot mode is a standard third-person shooter game with abilities. While in vehicle mode, you have 2 different modes, kind of. You have combat mode, which allows you to access exclusive weapons for each character being their gun on their vehicle mode. However, they also have a boost mode, which you hold down the boost button and you boost forward and go fast. That's the only way I can really put it. Now, there are 2 different big things between modes, other than just one goes fast, one lets you shoot. One lets you move omnidirectional, which is combat mode, to dodge around. However, on boost mode, you can only kind of move left, right, forward like your classic card. Now, you can deal damage in boost mode by running over to enemies. Kind of just how you think you would do damage in boost mode. And there are different type of things for combat mode, like the aerial bots, which you have to go which you can go left and right on directional just like the other people. However, the aerial bots exist on X, Y, Z scales because they're planes. You kind of go up, down, forward, back, left, right, whichever. But not much to say about the gameplay. You kind of shoot, use your abilities, and you dodge. And I would like to highlight there are certain sections like turn sections where you get on a turn and you kind of combat enemies, but nothing special, just little shooting sections. There are positives and negatives to this game. One of the big negatives I see is that the game gets really chaotic visually. Sometimes it's hard to see exactly the environment and what's happening around you, and it's a shame too because the environments are beautifully made, but you can't see them sometimes over all the action. Another big complaint I have is kind of the lack of weapons in this game. I know it's the first game, but I feel like comparatively, the weapons were very limited. In the first game, which is this game, there aren't even 2 vehicle mode weapons. But you know what? It is what it is. It's just starting. I can give a bit of slack. Now, something I'm a bit mixed on, however, is classes. Because I get classes were made for online, specifically, just to, you know, flourish and have different types of classes for different people. If they want to play a soldier or leader, they can. But I just feel like in story mode, it kind of limits you, and you don't feel as free. And I'll end this positively. I think the game is overall just fun. Like, the combat is really fun, the movement's fun, and it's an enjoyable experience. I think most people will just have fun with this game. Don't have much else to say in this section, so let's end this. Hey, I just want to thank you all for watching this video. It means a lot if you got to the end, because this is my first kind of long form video that I've worked hard on. It's a lot more draining than I thought it would be editing this video, and I just want to say thank you for sticking with me to this video. If you watched me play the series, thank you very much. And this will not be the last video to come of the reviews. I'll make reviews on Fall of Cybertron and sadly Darkspark, although I want to do that. And I'll only make those reviews. I'll keep making more reviews of games I just only want to make reviews of. And without further ado, I want to thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, notification bell, and yeah, I'll see you next review. Bye-bye.